All right, hey guys, welcome back to the Jazz Piano School podcast, episode number 211. My name is Brendan Lowe, founder and creator of Jazz Piano School. Now, I'm feeling pretty wired right now because we just released Jazz Piano School 3.0. We had our open enrollment period for new students, new members, and it was an absolute blast. But we have a really special episode coming to you today on Lingus. Now, some of you may be like, oh, and some of you may be like, what, Lingus? Now, Snarky Puppy, an amazing band you should check out, had this really famous song called Lingus that went viral on YouTube because of a lot of different things. It's amazing, but Cory Henry, their organist, their keyboard player, their synth player, just absolutely crushes his solo, and it's just mind-blowing. So, our amazing educator named Sterling Koza is going to be doing a 2-part podcast episode on the solo. So this is going to be part 1. If you want access to the transcription notation for the solo that Cory Henry does and performs that Sterling will be analyzing, go to jazzpianoschool.com/podcast 11. You'll be able to get that transcription. Besides that, just get ready. Get ready because this is absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, here we go.
Hey everybody, this is Sterling Koza here for jazzpianoschool.com. In today's podcast lesson, we're going to be checking out the notorious Lingus solo. This is a solo that Cory Henry famously took with his group Snarky Puppy, led by Michael League. And I personally love this solo. It's one of the greatest synth solos. And obviously a lot of people think it's great too because that video has at least 20 million views now. So that solo has definitely gone down in history. And it makes you wonder, why is it so great? I mean, obviously he's playing just a face-melting solo throughout, but what the heck is he doing, you know? So we're going to take a closer look today at this solo, looking at a little of the inner workings, what makes it tick. And so there are also PDF practice materials available for this podcast, so I highly encourage you to check out the PDF for free in the description below. You can download it and follow along with this lesson. And we are also posting weekly Lick of the Weeks. So this past Lick of the Week was actually the Rhodes intro to this solo. There's some really crazy chords in there, so I highly encourage you to check that out as well. And another Lick of the Week will be posted with a link in the description here with a playthrough of the entire first part of the solo. So just to get a sense of the flow, if you haven't heard the solo already, please check that out. It'll make a lot of this make sense. So without further ado, let's get into the solo. Alright, so there's 2 important things to note about this solo. First is what's going on behind the solo. So the band is actually playing an 8-bar vamp. And that vamp is based around a rhythm, which sounds like this. And so that vamp goes through 4 bars of E. Could be E minor, could be E major, depending on where he's at in the solo. And then 2 bars of C major, a bar of A minor, and a bar of F major. So Cory plays with those chords throughout and reinterprets them as he moves through the solo. The second thing to note is I kind of hear this solo built in sections. So he takes, a couple of choruses and then moves on to a new idea, a new sort of stage of the solo. And that's what really builds this solo, to the next level. Each stage develops until he reaches a climax at the end. And that's, I think, what really makes it so great. So we're going to go through section by section and talk a little bit about what's going on in each one. All right, so let's get into it. Here's the first section. right, so this first section is based on a lot of blues vocabulary. So he's playing in the key of E minor in this case, and he starts off with just a plain old blues lick. But let's see where he takes it. He adds a little pitch bend. Okay. And here's where he starts to depart from the blues. He instead starts with this phrase with a fourth line. Right, a line built in fourths. And then some A major. Some more pitch bend. And all of a sudden we're in a new key center. This is over the C major chord, and we're hearing some G minor blues. And then we're back to A minor, this time with an A minor major sound. Minor major 9 chord, a little bit of a tongue twister there. And then that resolves to the E minor. Okay. And then we get to another blues. Blue note there, the flat 5. Except this time, we hear diminished 7. So here's the next section. Okay, so we're starting off with some E diminished 7. So we hear that melody going through the mode, the diminished mode. And then arpeggiating up a E diminished 7 chord. And then we resolve on B, except we get to it with a series of chromatic notes. Some more E blues, E minor pentatonic there. And then we get to the A minor 7 chord again, this time with a little bebop vocab. A little jazz in here. He's arpeggiating around A minor 9 there. Another enclosure of the B. And he ends the phrase on F7 this time. That E flat there resolves back up to E. Alright, and here we are at the next section. This is sort of this arpeggio idea that he begins with. Here it is. Alright, so beginning with this E minor 7 arpeggio, he sort of gets the James Bond thing going on here. That is E minor 7, E minor 6, E minor flat 6. So that's that D, C sharp, C, B. And then he does it again, except displaces it by a 1/16 note. And goes up an E minor chord and down an F major 7 chord. And then we got some more arpeggios coming here this time. This time into the land of F major here. And it resolves to the A minor chord. Goes down the A harmonic minor scale. And then back through F7. Ending with the blues. That's our familiar E minor blues there. but he quickly takes it in the opposite direction. I'm going to turn my page here. Quickly taking it into fourth land. And all of a sudden we're in a whole new tonality here. So he goes up some fourths, and then up a half step. And all of a sudden we've got an F sharp major chord over E. And descending in a chromatic line here. Let's take a closer look at that pattern. So this is a major chord shape going down in major thirds with a couple chromatic notes in there. So we've got sort of an E major chord next to a D flat major chord next to a B flat major chord. So major chords going down in minor thirds, but add those chromatic notes in there. So that's something to practice there. And let's keep going. And there's the end of that section. So we get to sort of a temporary climax here after a couple chromatic notes. With the B on top. Climaxing at the C sharp. Alright, and this is where it really starts to get real. A lot of chromatic notes here. Let's see what happens. Alright, let's take that a little slower. A lot going on here. Doing my best here. Let's see. We start with the C sharp. Some more chromatic notes here. Straight out of the chromatic scale. And all of a sudden we get some pretty dissonant chords here. We've got an E diminished major 7. And then an F sharp. Going up, F sharp. We've got an F sharp sharp 5 chord here. So let's look at this whole phrase. So he's alternating here between F sharp diminished major and F sharp sharp 5. So that's a pattern. But this line goes by so fast, there's no way you can hear these notes. But it's under his hands. So that's what makes it sound pretty cool. Alright, and let's keep going here. And all of a sudden we go up a G major 7 sharp 5 chord to a climax ending on a G. And that ends that phrase. So a lot of chromaticism going on there. All of a sudden in the next section, he brings in the left hand with some of these chords. So let's hear these. Alright, so this is really the hallmark of this solo to me, is the part where he brings in the left hand and he's playing in tandem with the right. let's see what's going on here. We've got a melody on top, harmonized with a G major chord. And now we've got A over E, ending on E minor 7. And then he brings back the G and the A, followed by A minor 7. And all of a sudden we get over the G, the C chord, and we've got a G minor sound now. Sort of a G natural minor scale going on up here. And he ends over an F13 chord. And this section is where it really starts to get real. Alright, so he starts bringing in some reharmonized chords here. We've got sort of the E diminished major sound going on here. And then he goes up to E altered. And then we start to go down sort of an E7 harmonic minor. So he's combining the F major sound with the E sound. And then when we get to the C chord, he actually makes it minor this time, with some passing chords in the left hand. And this time he makes the A an A7 altered chord. And the F, he turns this one into an F13 with a sharp 9 and a sharp 5. Some real jazz chords going on here. Some real extended harmonies. And this time he resolves to a very colorful E major 13 with a sharp 11. Sort of that F sharp over E sound again. This section, we've got some more right hand activity going on over the left hand chords, staying with that F sharp over E sound, and we get to the C chord, and this time it's a C major 13, very colorful chord. And some more bebop vocab going on when we get to the A minor. Let's see what happens next. Alright, so he really is developing this idea of the chords in the left hand matching the melody in the right. If I had to guess, what he was thinking, I would say that he was really thinking about the top note of his left hand chords. It's matching exactly in the right hand, so that's really probably determining his melody. We get to that C minor sound again. And then we're going up chromatically. We've got G flat F, A flat G, B flat A, C to B, and then finally F to E minor to resolve it. So a big chromatic build-up there. All right. We are getting through this solo. Here's where it really starts to get real. We end on that big climax. And all of a sudden, the left hand and the right hand are doubling exactly in the melody. So we're starting off with sort of this chromatic idea. Ending with some E minor pentatonic. And then we bring back the some more of those chords. We've got F sus to E, E minor to D, F to E major, G to A minor, F7 to C, and then F goes back to E. And here comes some more of the chromatic things in the melody. And then here comes some C minor. Some C minor pentatonic. So here we have some C diminished scale in both hands. And then here's the next section. We'll take this pretty slow. There's kind of a lot going on. Section, a lot of chromaticism. We start off with some fourths. Ending in E minor. And then we take it up a little chromatically with that ascending idea. Taking that through some keys. There's that descending chromatic melody again. And then we're on to the next section. So we're getting close to the end here. We've got a pentatonic idea that's going to be taken up in half steps. Let's hear it. There we go, and we get to the end of that section. Let's take a closer look. So we've got E minor pentatonic, that melody, and we take it up a half step to F minor, F sharp minor, and then it becomes a little fragmented. And then new idea. We've got G major over C. Now A minor 9. We get to the end of the phrase and we've got E flat F resolving on E. So we've reached the final section. This is the big climax. He's been playing a bunch of really high chromatic notes. I don't even know some of the stuff he was playing, but we get to the big climax ending on E major. Very triumphant. So we've got some E add 4 here. Then we go up to F. And that is the end of this part of the solo. So after that sort of E add 4 section, he's sort of winding down, making his way back down the keyboard with a little bit of fancy scale action. Sort of kind of a split third kind of thing going on. And then some C major 13 again. And some more fourths here. And some A major. And then the band is in. And that is the end of the solo. So we made it through all those different sections. We heard a lot of blues at the beginning. We heard some bebop language in between. And all of a sudden he brings in those chords, those left-hand chords, moving in tandem with the melody, and he really develops that and ramps it up by taking it through some real chromatic fast lines. And then he brings back those chords to really even take it up even further. And finally, there's just a lot of chromaticism going on, a lot of shredding, taking some ideas up half steps, and we reach the final climax with the E major add 4, real triumphant sound, and we made it to the end of this part. So I hope you got something out of this transcription analysis, checking out some of these chords. Again, download the PDF so that you can follow along if you haven't already. It's really helpful. A lot going on here, and the PDF will have chords analysis in there to help kind of get an idea of where we are in the solo. So I hope you enjoyed this, and be on the lookout for that lick of the week in the description for the playthrough. And thanks for joining me. See you next time.
All right, wasn't that incredible? Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Definitely be on the lookout for part number 2. Go ahead and subscribe down below because we release a new podcast lesson like the one you just saw every single Wednesday and a new lick of the week every single Monday. And go to jazzpianoschool.com to check out all of our free education, and you can get some information on our Freedom Learner membership. So if you're thinking about becoming a Freedom Learner of Jazz Piano School, a member, you'll get all the information you need to join us on the inside. With that being said, hope you have a fantastic day, and as always, happy practicing.